The Tale of Genji, Ego, Murasaki Shikibu, Ahigataki Yuri have this only with Omoi. What Yuko becomes even more far, Akiko. The imperial bridal party's entry into the court before Saiku Nyoin became eagerly urged. When it but would also bits and pieces necessity of memorabilia does not have a person to undertake. All is a pity. Genji is there is also withhold to the hospital while I think. This time will be transferred you to the article of the hospital be stopped. But was on show Rishiku bystanders. Everyone is roughly of that Genji went carrying in the order to be Rishiku parent. Hospital has been made become disappointed. And Obo Shimeshi and those who lost should be silent. Was also extinct form to be a send you a letter. In addition came the big deal you a gift from the hospital is on the day. Your clothes. Comb box. Madeira tobacco is in a box of incense pot had been aligned or several types of incense. Genji seems those that have been also basa prepared to expect to look. Because was when Genji had come of woman Beto showed the memorabilia to the report. Genji just was carefully I see only a box of comb. It is a delectable goods made of delicate finesse. Oughta to be attached to a small box containing the comb interpolated decoration artificial flowers that had been written. Was to attachment Shokushishi Isme middling got and can only haru similar to the basket to the parting of the ways. Genji would remember the hurt of heart in this Oughta. When is that Hakara that wasteful? Genji does not own of the former was painful thought to pull compared to hospital now your mood. Even if it is possible to imagine in your sorry love that began when the so come to eyes as Tokyo is. Several years or queen completed the sacred duties as bellflower after become a good time is the realization of your hope, is the person to the concubines of the younger brother of his majesty what I feel will be sports in. The fact that be entered leisure of the present day of the hospital became our retreat to the statuses. Or will not be your impression of something like that loneliness away the sovereignty that may know. Nothing happened. And so must the world as Urameshiku if there I think if a painful heart was probably made a why a result of that superfluous. Such as add to court the queen yourself in all your mind to come up. But there was also your Urameshiku think the era. Deep originally gentle humanity and to be better. Genji had been pondering for some time while the Tansoku. This your Odin reply would if Nasaru. Also it would have been even your letter will not do not be the answer. But Genji had to say in the like. Wives is only your letter did not that show in Genji. By me a mood is not your superior to not be trying to control Odin reply. Then too rude, you will find it a waste. To say such a thing, and know how you are struggling trying to wives is written you reply, Genji. Of course we should not be relied your reply. Write us because little you simply. And he said, so to say it is that in Genji was not should be are you embarrassed to Saiku. To take a look and remember the old days. It has been that the beautiful emperor to gloss as your cry is spared farewell. It is now I think you eat washiku the girl heart also floating in front of the eye. At the same time, it was also think is in your sad that of his mother. Much saying, Sebum word even or lip have things and Betsuru is sad each now. Only it seems to have become in your writing. Does your several people went back to a top product of each difference. Genji is wanted to know your Odin reply of Saiku, but did not say that you wanted even see. Hospitalist Arazu Areru in the handsome queen also seems to be of suitable spouse to it. That was pushed to the Nyogo of Emperor Arazu Areru in the boy. And it may be that unsatisfactory to the Queen of Hearts that there is compassion when I also thought to be too. But Genji was not making noise chest. Place refers to the attention of the ritual other because it was not also be capable of discontinue become today. All the people are close repair Deu counselor Genji commissioned was wrecked to the imperial palace. Out of the 6th row house. All from the refrain that I'm sorry to the hospital is in the fact that taking care of the Genji is a foster father, was simply shows the food that are taking the attitude of favor. because I was often me a good wife from the original. People tended to have drawn home also came out everyone appeared to be successfully concluded the form of the already gorgeous Nyogo. If Miyasunda Koro were alive, would be pleased no matter how these things. Genji and was the most suitable personality for the mother of Nyogo as brainy guardianship role is. Reminded that the deceased, not only as a lover, is the loss of that person. Genji thought also that the loss of this world, even though the people of sophisticated high hobby, and it's not be found in people with excellent arihodo. Genji thought the Miyasunda Koro for each cage of things. It became come Nyo into Imperial Palace these days. Emperors to ask that be madly in love with new Nyogo. It became come and boyish excitement. It's a person who has grown up much more than your age. Nyoin also, because those who admirable that you are coming up to Nyogo, please see you made to your careful. His attention and sported. Although Emperor was Oboshimeshi that it would be secret adult Nyogo is embarrassing. Nyogo came up to your stations in the top from getting to the faith. The Mikai Sama of, and because there was a little youthful people naturally from which I feel the love. Nyogo of Hiroshi Wadai is Oboshimeshi the person to harmonious person because I turned up beside you early. With this new Nyogo there are goods often soft charm. Genji made a great background. The person who is hard contempt in terms of handling extremely important to the number to be called. To Oboshimeshi has been on night duty had become properly in half. But good Wadai and Hiroshi for in a sexual partner to be your playish boy. Were often more of Wadai and Hiroshi to be a come. Such as noon. Quan Shunigan the daughter was placed in a seraglio in mind you want to stand even after. I felt the anxiety that could be competitors. Hospital has been more Miss Oboshimeshi from getting to see the Odin reply of the box of the comb. Just Genji in that time was waiting upon to hospital. Acquainted to one that I would like to talk about. From the fact that Saiku has been downward. And talk to the ritual of the departure of Saiku of the reign of the hospital was carried out. Hospital also became a lot of you talking recalls. But the thought by all means want to give that person is not you tell. Genji while also the problem at all Shiranukau. If I wanted to know as whether as has been Oboshimeshi, when towards talking about in that direction, you feel sorry for the thought that the deeper pain of a broken heart in your facial expression of the hospital has emerged. It was Saiku before you Oboshimeshi Gataku forget so much in as beautiful a person is. What is good looks and will become to have a Genji thought. But cages I want to see your face if given the opportunity one Ukuchiyoshi that there is no I have a lady seems profundity only. Was of the Saiku of Nyogo not a person. Such as a chance to be seen in person to Ukado Genji are pleased to think that the adopted daughter to be paid the respect in the one side. Because something like this gap there is no food to two people. Nyogo was the Nar Samurai. To Hyobu lord of the temple has been made to come to the agony is hard to realize the concubines containing the queen. Emperor becomes your youth if it was became come connect the would not as if the hope that sports alienated his daughter's maternal relative. Court of two people of Nyogo was each other challenged gorgeous. Emperor became come interested in painting more than anything. It was also your good to be specially draw your favorite flame. Since Nyogo of Saiku draw better picture liked at you. Sported look forward to become a draw you a picture of your together or taken to come to the Palace of Nyogo. Young officer a person who can draw a picture among especially because was emperor to become a love. You of the palace circles. Much less beautiful people. Drawn by skillfully ink a picture with Yahweh. While lay the body. So down the next brush and died in the idea or two of loveliness is your heart. Often become so come here. Your flourish see favor to see. When the authority Chuinagon hear it, how far from the make-gry nature of several people of the famous painter suffer at home. A good paper a good picture. It was brought to secretly be drawn. The most interesting paintings in the title of the novel. to say, is Ken Chunigan is brought to picture the contents of a good novel chosen. Were subjected to your eye of the emperor with the lyrics written with literary value also painting. Of the year 12 seasons is not the mediocre, but it is interesting what it is and seems very important thing. Even while it is to come of the emperor, longest from being to put away without putting out to you. Emperor Nobo Shimeshi won a show to Nyogo of Saiku. The hero Shiwei and people for trying to be you have were always hinder the Genji is to hear it. Competitive spirit of Chunigan seems burning youthful forever. I laughed and the like. It's that outrageous is the fact that like to annoy you majesty without too much out to the sight. As trying to hide. And Genji is to say is to emperor. Old picture in my place let I will be give from thank a lot. Frequently Payton. Genji was to tell a picture together and his wife opened the shelf containing the old image Shine of article of the hospital. It was classified in things and contemporary things that belonged to the old picture. Chokan song. To that and to the title Wang Jajun is funny luck is not my best regards. Genji such of that this time is omitted as the decided to come out of the box during the trip entered the picture scroll depicting the diary instead. Genji was the first time show also to misses even if there is a viewer without providing anything of prior knowledge. Was a picture that has the power of not only not help but cry as long as the rich person of a little emotion, for much less forget you think it's sad was era without Genji. It is not hard to imagine now. The older movies is what gives how much of the excitement for the wife. Mrs. told a grudge against that did not show the Genji until now. One person, then she looked to stay carry borrow down look'll have to write those who live in Uminchu. I became there you are such a comfort to you as. Quote. Genji said, my heart ached the mood of his wife. Or, hardship seen she tears that go back to the way to or past is today than the worry. Only thing that must be applied to your eyes to Nakamaya. Genji those one that has come out well a good ones yet Suma Metropolitan Akashi features of the can be in the well have chosen one by pledge. Also a picture that is drawn of Akashi of the house. And how to if Yalo longing has been invited. Genji is heard that has attracted the picture. Ken Chunigan was committed to Koshira Aru and more masterpiece in the house. Scroll axis. Even rope sote icer fancy. Because it was that of 10 days around of March. The most lovely a good season. To which was when the only thing is seen interesting also as a spontaneous human mind. When there is nothing of the stated event also at the court. Painting only the had a struggle with whether collect masterpiece of literature and had become work. This Genji and better to decide the game in the seat of openly decided to give to everyone majesty. Is that there may be of interest was first started to say. The number of picture scroll gathered to court since it is put out from both sides were many. Those in which the novel in the picture is already thing of its kind since the one in which the effect of the picture is compounded by two. Try the illusion that makes the heart in addition to that there are many people who see. More of the Umetsubo of the King Nyogo has a lot of was to picture the it has been determined the classical value. Weidine of Hiroshi is because in many cases had to draw what a good reputation in the world these days. As new appearance though lively and flashy was in here. Maid of Honor and Maid of Honor in Myobu also has become very hard to discuss the value of the painting. Since Nyoin was also around the time so come to the court. It was to see so fight the theory and the two persons to discuss the ladies. It was divided into left and right. Umetsubo person in the left. Flat lady in waiting. Chamberlain of the Maid of Honor. Etc. Myobu of Major General. The right side is Maid of Honor of Daimi. Of Lieutenant General Myobu. Was such Myobu of the Samurai. Is a woman who has been recognized as experts from all the world. Nyo in the argument that claims to be his own way of an interesting obo shimeshi. It was to listen to the commentary of the first Japan's first Okina and the winding of Shunkajup. Moray Eels of Takedo is a novel in the left and right. Even if there is just as outdated novel and The Old Man of Takedo, those pretentious of the hero of Hiei princess personality of the human ideal of the best as I may have been implied. I can only think interesting people I will not know in it. Quote, the left says, right, what that Hiei heavenly world princess of up was not only a product of fantasy, where you have a copy of the life of this world is not something too non-aristocratic beautiful. Whether such chord of depiction is not no little. Hiei sounds like there was no only of light illuminate one of the house of the old man of Takedo, or was written with the Fermeniabe was bought and a lot of money was burned to Murmara. The island of their only Pung Lai it is very unpleasant place where Prince of Kurumochi say to imagine or try to cheat to bring a fake. Quote, this picture of Takedo in the brush of the phase list Kosei. Lyrics writing are the Tsuriyuki. Kamiya with each other to the edge of the Karen Ishiki is attached to the paper, which is a moderate appearance cover of red-purple. In the axis of red sandalwood, Shankage is a strong mind to seek the art be wandering a foreign country at the mercy of the storms and waves. At length is superior much more than muscle that has become no music person in Japan to foreign. Takitori Monogatari casual. And the picture we also superior in that they are treated interesting the contrast between Japan and foreign countries. Quote, right person were to argue with. It is written in the equation paper area of the paper. It had been given a shaft of blue cover and topaz. Picture Sunasoku. Character is full of flashy mood because I was the way the wind left the point was a shortage. The following is Tales of Eyes and shows opposition has been fitted. The controversy also sorry in one way. Now to be right are also drawn pattern of stimulation basis a court interesting as look. Contemporary there are many places and people of the edge seemed to point and looks good you have photographed. Flat lady in waiting said, should mark the waves and shots Udakol I not follow the eyes of sea deep mind. Do we made let me lose the novel to Nara here in Assen. Such as are spelled just a love story just finesse. The right of the lady in waiting says, view each to much more bottom of Chihiro in mind that Novo Omoi above the clouds. Nioin has been made your word to be you have a left shoulder. The spirit of Samurai King is not more than J Lieutenant General but it is fine. Because what you're a bore unexpected lame year through to the death in the name of Kato of the eyes. Jinman, view. At stake is freedom of speech of the ladies long past since time is not easily stick game of a dose. Expected or young wife who appears on the occasion when is your picture of Nyogo of His Majesty in Umetsubo has attracted an interest in it it was not able to. Genji even if the palace visit. I heard interesting the words of the condemned and the support to be described from both. This is let's decide at the end of the game in you. And Genji is to say, picture matching became possible to obtain a more widely determined person, since also it was to have been for some time thought such a thing. Summa, Akashi of 2 volumes into the left of the picture Genji was allowed to mix. Chunigan devoted himself to trying to serve masterpiece to be the picture matching no less day. The world seemed to be no work on other things in. Locate it to produce another good picture. Making new and become now seems that there is no meaning, if not determine the superiority or inferiority in the picture you have. And Genji says, but Shunigan had many to make a shine in Jitai not even known to man. Hospital even when I hear that this game was Asobasa your donated many paintings to Plum Pot Corp to draw the interesting old prominent family in the ritual that is a year Jew. The Emperor of Genji is in addition to the old scroll became a company Jew described himself. Was in the court of his own reign the gorgeous picture scroll became to draw you like ritual. Expression of your comb of Taikyokuden of farewell day of Saiku inauguration. Since there was at the things that have been obo shimeshi and died in your mind. Especially Koshigeru well as composition painter for more sporting your orders was also very fine. picture, which was produced and put in the box of the fretwork of the Tree of Precipitation. Was your gift with was a novelty the decoration after having made of the same wood. Your greeting Lieutenant General of SA can also be working to the Imperial Palace of the Only Inn. The hospital just your word is to have your auto-wear divine that is asked of portable shrines of Taikyokuden there was. Without servants forget out of what nuclear tightening of outside accustomed sonokami of mind-body. And say that is believed to be that it also Osorio not receive a reply. While I think painful is Nyogo of Saiku, a little folding the end of the hairpin, which was used in the ancient ritual of the day. Wrote it, of the Titan the Koishiki also each now that the gods and feels comfortable unexpected rough in the old days. Was raised your wrapped in karakami of indigo blue. Hospital became a look at dye to wear without as long as this. Your position with this thing was also oboshi meshiwani irreversible. It must have been Urameshiku oboshi meshi also Genji once might have made to accept the reward has become added to your unreasonable severe punishment. To Genji, your picture of the hospital should have come many toward the Nyogo of Wadai and Hiroshi through the hands of Fudoshi Kasaki. Shoji also because I was a person who has a lot of pictures of hobby. I had collected a lot of paintings for the niece of Nyogo. When will the day of a defined picture matching? It has been a somewhat and showers thing, become a tasteful package that was the interesting design. The left and right of the picture has been taken out to the venue. The lady is ahead of the parlor made extraordinary throne. North side. Determine who divided the south side is attached to the seat. It means the soft temple. At the edge of the cool hall after the west was sitting in a friend of the palace circle's officials. Their own way to the left and right. Decoration stand of trees suo in the box to the left of the red sandalwood. Bedding was a purple land Karen Ishiki. Bosha's Karen Ishiki of red purple. 6 of automatic figures Sakuraka Sane of sweatgen on top of the vermilion of clothes. In the thick fabric of Fuji Kasane on the back of the red. The body of intercession is very graceful. Right under the desk of Asaka in a box of wood of precipitation. Bosha's Nishiki Korea a blue background. Decoration of the braid of the legs of the desk was gorgeous. Automatic head all wore willow of the color of sweat gen. The pod bright prone to blue. Both of Otto it is had laid the box of this picture to you. And Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal and Kenchu Inagon of Genji came out to you. Dazai Sochi Temple became come out also called to be with. This person is the direction to have a hobby art. Had been also especially because the painting was a favorite one. This story from Genji in the beginning. Rather than calling official of you. Then it Seth felt to became come to the palace floor. It has been Kami the referee role of today to the people. Carefully drawn picture scroll to the reputation as expected there were many. It is as difficult will decide your superiority suddenly. Examples are also paintings depicting the 4 seasons of, but those that hits or yoku also flowed to draw the male can choose a landlord is a good subject. Appears to be a high value, because now is all paper painting. Was painted in rich of landscape painting epic unlike such. Today's young painter, which are thought to mediocre person also can make those close to the old masterpiece. Even though it is included in the large amount of it is also intended to attract the modern people. Part, left and right but are each other discuss the relative merits of such a picture. It was interesting because today's debate was serious both. Nio in between Asage opened the Fusumako became come out. I think that it will become there is always our confidence in the forensics of the picture. Genji seemed grateful even it. Determine who is at such not be assertive. With respect to your ask to Nioin, it was also good feeling to be made as short your words. Left and right of the winds came at night not to determined yet. Chest of Chuinagon was Suwajadashi by that came out as wound from the left suma at the end of the turn. Although the right is also particularly the last good picture scroll had been prepared. landscapes and sketches. When the genius such as Genji has reached a clear frame of mind, does not allow even what's followers. Nobody was seen shed all tears as the beginning of the Prince Hans. Then Suma was imagined, while sympathy in that era were a house to be taught by the picture, it was those more sad. Author of emotion is not appear rich. There is a pullback force in that era, also the current view of the sea that from Suma, lonely residents, sake people, Ura people have had been drawn to everyone. Vivid, cursive diary of stylistic kanas are being mixed in the places in. There was also a song, the shim to wear. Nobody is that of the other picture became ecstatic to forget. The best part is left has become winds determined to be this. Genji became mood moist from the old recollection as near dawn. Told that temple in Sochi while taking the cup. Although I was eager academic from the children of the era. Did you become to see if there is a tendency to proceed to the direction of poetry? Hospital have told us this is a mons from the world, such thing as literature results. Because the better it is to have the identity, no less. Shortage of people, that people of longevity and happiness are obtained aligned with do up to the professional things. Get the honor in literature in the altogether need not be. I must do it with the knowledge. But now let me variously press the full-fledged academic, since it is bad Komoku without any. Also did not have also made the excellent deep research. Just painting. It is not that big. When the desire to look, to draw, to concentrate the spirit enough to be of satisfactory, but as what happened time to time, which became unexpectedly wanderer, is and took the opportunity to be in contact with the beauty of humate nature. Should things I was given enough draw, and badly as finesse, the thing out as expected could not be expressed on paper. Such a thing's only this, that is because not have been ashamed to be applied to your eyes. Only such of it was brought out on the occasion, such as now. My act will have been worried that is reputed as quirky. If there is no head at what tricks do not know raise. But still there is all teacher on any tricks. As because the thing that can road, depth, shallow another problem lead. To imitate the teacher the only thing do in one way will be first to anyone. But those who write the hierarchy fine writing from those who only is it and go to write the letter. Does not even seem to have learned eagerly tricks of go, although the master is out. Still any tricks from among the children of the nobility also appears to be out of people that can be missing out. Hospital is himself prince. Gay everyone something to the princess who is not from which you were charged, but to have sported specially your professor to you among them. Because you eager to be from which you learn, essay more of poetry. Of course you're admirable. In the other has to be play you a koto in the first of the arts. Following the flute, Pippa, 13, in order that the stringing how can hospital if there's a trick to be able to you now. Also Seth, the world is also believe so. That it is just your hobby is such a picture to me was also thought until now. Too much to ojozu it becomes to show you a masterpiece that there is a possibility that the dead, ashamed painters of ink painting, you might be outrageous. Quote, palace at length as either became you say good cries of the Hutan. Became zit wilted been the talk of the late council. 20 is not come to be still out month of days here. But pure brightness was full in the sky, and musical instruments or meshios that is stored in the buksu casa. But Shunigan became picker wagon. Was a gay surprise the people and is a virtuoso indeed. Sochi Palace 10 3-stringed instrument. Genji Koto. Role of the billow was Osetsuke Mayobu of Major General. Persons with background knowledge of music in the palace circles officials took a mesa as to beat. It became a rare good ensemble. Night raised also cherry blossoms of people face to faint and day out. Birdsong began to hear. Is a beautiful asabere. Bestowed goods became served from Nyoin. But the prince has given the Enzo also from the emperor. This current is nobody was each other in the rumors of the picture matching of the day everyone. Suma, 2 volumes of Akashi would like you to give to your at one side of the Woman Institute. This Genji is offered Nio input was that of Oboshi Meshi Strike 1 to see everyone is also a thing of the before and after of this wound, in addition to saw the cage. And Genji Yurt was I say greeting, that the emperor was your state in which sported satisfied with a picture matching Genji was delighted. Also premonition fate Chunagon from the fact also that on the little picture that began from the challenge of 2 of Nyogo Genji did not place the product in not when the plum pot is large to put a forced to go pressed care of daughter was Kuchio she wanted to. Emperor is the Nyogo that wreck in the beginning. That there is a special one in your love. Only Chunagon, father of Nyogo is there is also a point that can imagine. Tanama Shiku is thought. All is in your own Toriko Shiguro try and correct and Omo also Chunagon had. Such as the ritual of court it is also trying to wig the thing that started from the rain Genji. Was think. It not just a game even in event of such picture matching. It's not rain servings. Such as is done by pulling up to the meeting of the art of appreciation has been revealing. Moreover, Genji thought deeply the impermanence of life. Waiting for the emperor to become now you become a little adult. Seem to think at the bottom of my heart wannabe priest looking at the old example. Advance the rank young the year. And outstanding people in the world are those that are not have a long and well-being. Their own is getting excessive of status. A previous unfortunate date was it. Finally is followed by a still luck until today. Obtained still have crisis is more of a long-lived as not put himself in favorable circumstances. Quietly the longevity in the Buddha worked for posterity hold up future in Thailand. Genji thought this was allowed to build a Mido in search of suburban land. Buddha. It was beginning also to prepare with it. Such as Kyokan, but a fine person to educate well the children. Because the good that women in the spirit that I think let's monk is not compatible. Which do not know what is the heart of Genji true. Thank you for your viewing. If you like please subscribe to the channel. I am very encouraged.